Well, we're just starting the podcast today. Luckily, uh, today Malcolm's podcast took half an hour extra. Meaning, if you are showing up usually late, now it's your lucky day because Malcolm's episode took a lot longer than we expected. And the only reason we had to cut it short is because he had a different interview. Yeah. Yep. Moving things around, trying to figure out where to the question. I didn't even post the question. Good morning, everyone. I appreciate your patience so far. So much happened, so much is going on. I wanted to talk about what's going on between Israel and Hezbollah. People are telling me that, and I spoke about this a little bit on Malcolm's podcast today, but people told me that I came out yesterday a little bit pro Hamas. And luckily, I wasn't the only speaker there, and there was Jacob Karsbo. He's also a Danish spy and a Middle Eastern expert, and he said I did not come off as a pro Hezbollah. The We were just making assessments. The current reality is that we are in a war. We're not at peacetime, and Israel is inside Lebanese territory, taking territory away from Hezbollah, meaning that it's rational for any group that is there, regardless of what party affiliation they're having. If you're going to invade and take their land, they're going to fight back. Additionally, they do have party affiliation with Iran. So they have double the incentives to fight back. I am not defending Hezbollah, but we should have learned by now that defeating a terrorist organization doesn't work by bombardments and fire and taking away land. We've been making that mistake for the last 20, 30 years, and we have many studies that have shown that these tactics don't work. And I am, as an expert in Islamic extremism, an expert in anti terrorism, Islamic terrorism, I can tell you the only way you fight Islamic extremism is with ideology. These people, they are connected to Iran. They see Iran supreme leader as their pope, essentially. They are connected by faith. Additionally, Israel is attacking them. So they're at war. Israelis are being killed and Lebanese people are being killed. Do you want to end Hezbollah? There are many other ways you could do so. And they're all cheaper than whatever you're doing right now. A lot of people don't know that if we take the money that we have invested in creating instability in countries like Lebanon against Hezbollah, that instability creates power vacuum. And that power vacuum creates more opportunities for terrorist organizations to come. But if you did the exact opposite, if you took that money that you decided to use to go to war and you invested it to create stability, you change hearts and minds. People find more economic opportunities to become stable. Therefore, they have a lot to lose. Therefore, they're not going to do something stupid to lose everything that they have worked so hard for and accumulated. When people have nothing to lose, when you have taken the opportunities away, when you create instability, when you have economic inequality, when all of these comes together with power vacuum, you create the basic exact atmosphere that any terrorist organization needs to succeed. So our tactics are all incorrect. You want people to stay in the Middle East, create stability. You want people to go out of the United States, out of your European countries, back to the Middle East, make it look good, increase the stability there. Don't have don't make it the economies there worse for them. That was the promise of US aid, but the problem with US aid is that it said that, but then everything else went to US military wars. Sure, that's why we had US aid, but USA did the minimal to change hearts and minds. It was the best cover for CIA agents and American spies to go somewhere and hand information or take some information away from, everyday people. While you're here, destroy that heart button for me and share the space. We have 87, 8 people today. Not a lot of people that we're here. Not a lot of people know that we're here today, especially that our episode with Malcolm took a little longer. By destroying the heart button, you let the algorithm know that this content is amazing, and you want more of it. So it, boosts it with everyone else. So, what do we need to do? If you don't want to put money, your own money and investments inside these countries, then you need to encourage your big companies to invest in these countries, to build the infrastructures in these countries, because that way your corporations make money and their country starts getting developed. That is what China is doing. Lend them some zero interest money. China is literally rebuilding the Silk Road on their own dime. All of it is strategic. Someone is investing their money properly because they're getting money back. You're investing in multiple different economies. You're helping multiple different nations. Those nations are automatically designed to have to grow. When you invest in other countries to grow, your investment in those countries also grow. The people that are there also have better lives, so they decide to stay there. They come to your country and purchase stuff from you and come for vacations and go back because their countries are amazing. That's exactly what you need, isn't it? Even like white people that don't want to see America filled with people of color. Isn't that what you want? You don't want us, people of color in America? Create opportunity for us to go somewhere else. Why is that so hard to understand? You going to drug wars in South America is not solving it. You going to drug war in South America is not solving it. It's bringing you more refugees. I would love to be in a country, many in my home country. But yeah, I have a death sentence there. I can't go there. Let's see if we got questions here. What countries do you think Israel could turn to now? Are these Arabic countries or other who did Somalia? The question is, who is Israel going to turn to now? I think Israel has become more isolated than ever. We are seeing that being played in front of us at the moment. The Arabic countries are more reluctant to sign any Abrahamic accord. They are, in fact, feeling aggravated by the Israeli actions, causing instability in the region. Even the United Arab Emirates wouldn't cancel their relations with Israel, but has to distance themselves at least because the Arab world they're finding themselves isolated from the Arab world, and they're finding it difficult to um, they're finding it difficult to get any peace done with the Iranians if that continues. And that's just the worst thing that could happen to their economy. The Gulf states are dependent on stability and security for few things in order to export their oil, in order to produce their oil, in order to have foreign investments in their countries, and in order to have tourism come to them. Without these things, the Gulf states fall apart. They immediately have financial shortages, and they immediately uh, um, f- get faulted on their loans and get faulted on their projects. And all these projects come to halt. That's the last thing anyone wants, especially Mohammed bin Salman, the Saudi crown prince, that have designed and created Vision 2030 of Saudi Arabia and created NEOM, trying to diversify the Saudi economy and reimagine Saudi Arabia into a different future. Well, without these trillions of dollars that would have come on a yearly basis, or billions of dollars on well, not $1 trillion, billions of dollars on a yearly basis, uh, they would they would they wouldn't be able to keep up with the projects, and they wouldn't be able to keep up with in fact the costs of day to day of running the government. So they're feeling very reluctant, and they're feeling very upset with Israel, and Israel hasn't slowed down on attacking Gaza, even though it's not the main subject right now, but it is in the hearts and minds of the Arab world. I have good news for everyone. I spoke with my friend Justice yesterday. Justice Gatson. She is my role model and my mentor. Taught me almost everything I know about grassroots organizing. You have requested to have a training, and she agreed to give a training. So I told her I'm gonna help her set up her own Substack, and we are going to have her own paid subscribers only training for how to become a grassroots organizer 101 basics for anyone that is trying to start organizing in their own community, for anyone that is starting to want to have their own coalitions, for people that want to understand who is an ally, who's a friend, and who is someone that you just work with a small project with, and someone and who's an enemy. There is a whole different type of triangle lists that we have that you have to identify each person and put them in basically different categories, and these categories are different. Maybe they're different trainings, but I've had many trainings over the years, and uh they're not one training, to be honest, and one training is not enough. But I'm just giving you what kind of exercises out there. um, but the 101, the community uh, organizing, that is justice for you. She's been doing it in Missouri and in Kansas. She's a doula, and she's a abolitionist, and she has her own nonprofit, Real Justice Network. So we're not bringing you anyone. She's a certified trainer. She trained the ACLU. I trained the ACLU with her. And so far, so she's said she's going to give me her schedule sometime soon. And we're going to get it all set up so you guys can go ahead and get trained for it. I'll see if I can get some donors to see if they would be interested to hold a to pay justice to have a training that's open for everyone that wants to come in. But if I'm being honest, uh, those are not cheap trainings. Those are very expensive training that takes a lot of work to do and a lot of time to prepare for, and a lot of education and money to be licensed for. And for someone that doesn't get any support from anyone else, I don't feel happy, get making her give a training without any compensation for her work. She's an amazing person. And then she'll have her own podcast on Substack as well, and she'll be writing her own articles on Substack as well. So I'm using the spotlight that I have to put her in the middle so she can have her own. I'm helping her set up her own podcast essentially as well on Substack. So we're doing few things. Um, Justice Gatson, Justice, um, Justice Gatson. It's spelled Justice, Justice, and then Gatson is Gatson. So we'll see how that goes. I hope that you guys sign up for her membership and support her account. And she would be worth all of your time, because everything that I learned about America in terms of grassroots organizing and privileges and who's got what power and how the justice or the police system undermines people. She's got like a bunch of knowledge. Any question that you have about that stuff, uh provide a link to her Instagram. Justice. Here you go. Share. Okay, I added the link to the chat, the Q&A. And if I can come into this live stream on this phone, yeah, I can't do it on that phone. I don't know why. Justice Gatson. Yes, you spelled it correctly. Let me see if I'll find her ex. Yeah. Anyways, she might have deleted her ex account. I'll have her send me her rest of social media, but um that's up and about, and we're working on getting that scheduled. So don't 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 worry. What is the current situation with sports in Saudi Arabia? Are they part of the school there? And does the majority of the population participate? So we have a lot of gems, a lot of luxury gems, in fact. Schools, when we talk about schools, private schools provide karate. They provide taekwondo sometimes. They provide gymnastics sometimes. Horse riding sometimes. I went to a school that the princes used to go to. Not used to. The princes go to. And we had horse riding, but majority of the kids just want to play football the whole time. That would be soccer for you guys. Justice Gatson, per the ACLU of Missouri. Yes, she left the ACLU of Missouri now, but yes, per the ACLU of Missouri. She used to be a grassroots organizer for the ACLU. Um, so most of the kids just want to play soccer. Girls' schools, unfortunately, don't have as much exercises. That's when I left Saudi Arabia. I haven't checked as recently as now, but I don't assume much has changed. See any other questions? Will you be covering the situation, Albania? I might cover the situation in Albania. Why not? I'll write an article. I'm thinking about writing a couple articles today. Um, and boost up the writing. Yeah, it seems like the my support has been concaving on Substack. I haven't been gaining much followers or paid subscribers, which is okay. It's just what it is at the moment. But I do appreciate everyone that has been supporting me. I appreciate everyone that has been showing up every day, asking questions, and for everyone that has been subscribing, it does mean a lot. I wouldn't be here without you guys. So, yep, just letting you know. Section 224 has numeration has changed to section 219. I keep seeing different things about it. I am confused about where we are at. So it passed the House and now it's going to the Senate. It's going to go to a committee, a Senate committee. I don't know what committee is going to be at, but any bill after it passes the House, it has to go to a committee to be discussed in the Senate. Any bill before it goes to the floor, usually it has to be discussed inside a committee. The committee has to agree on it, vote on it, and then agree to bring it to the floor for a vote. After you agree to bring it to the floor on a vote, the speaker of the head of the Senate or the speaker of the Senate, I forgot what you call him, decides whether this is an issue they want to bring out to a vote or not. And once they decide that that's something they want to bring to a vote, the Senate votes on it. So what you can find out now is find out who is your minority leader, and where we have to find out which what you said it's changed from section 224 to 219, and that does make sense when things get switched from the House to the Senate. They get different numbers and they get different uh, IDs. And I wouldn't be surprised that it would be giving a new number like 219. Now, if that is the case and it is 219, then we need to find out where is section 219 going to next. Once you find out which committee it will be at, then you start calling the committee members and telling them that you are not okay with section 219, and informing them that this would not be good for the American sovereignty and it would take away our checks and balances. And this is something that you would vote against strongly in the upcoming election. You would consider strongly in the upcoming election in the midterm. And if it does pass, the the committee called your state, not state, you call your senator that is in Washington, and you inform them that you want them to vote against it. So you have multiple chances to do something about it starting from now. It's not too late. It is still in the middle of being discussed, but it is dangerous. It is dangerous if we pass it, and you still have a chance to do something about it. I hope that makes sense. Or that's my understanding of how the bills work in the United States. Isn't that how it works? That's how I learned it in school, at least. And when I worked at the Kansas State Senate, yeah, things have to go to a committee and then from committee. Tell me if I'm wrong. If you know that I'm wrong, tell me if I'm wrong, okay? I'm not Jesus. Do you know? I just answered. Well, gee, can you, Jacob Malcolm, school us on the consequences of the facts that for a large part of their history, Sephardic Jews lived in Muslim land, while Ashkenazi Jews lived in Christian and Eastern European lands? By the way, I'm maybe 6 to 8% Ashkenazi Jew. I don't know how. Don't ask me. That's what the DNA says. That is a whole different research paper, my friend. I'll see what I could do about it. I was not always discord and war between Arab and Jews, was it? There hasn't always been war between Arabs and Jews. No, that is something new. Jews and actually, that is something that started happening. So Prophet Muhammad at one point had a fight with or a civil war with the Jewish community in Yathrib or Medina, the second holiest city. I think that's what I remember of the Prophet's history. But then I don't remember anything, any conflict between Arabs and Jews that came to discussion in front of me, at least, until Sykes-Picot agreement. So I need to do a little bit more research to see if there was uh who's paying the $300 billion to Iran? Is it American people? So American people aren't directly paying Iran. What you're paying for is $135 billion to the cost of your economy, in addition to whatever newer production you have. You have another $300 billion that you need. Another, no, sorry, a hundred and okay. From my you know I haven't done any actual math, but from what I remember, US damages to its property in the Middle East is at least 5 to $10 billion in the Middle East. This is not counting. No, this is counting the planes. This is counting everything that got damaged, with drones or so forth, so on and so forth. Um, so we have some radars that easily cost $1 billion here, $1 billion there. Um, so we have easily lost in damages 5 to $10 billion. This is just low estimate, I think. And then you have, for every day we spent at war, we spent at least $1.5 billion. And for every day we spent for the blockade, we spent $1 billion. So that's another $100 billion, $130 billion right there. So that's coming out of your pocket. That's what you're paying. This is this is you before paying. This is before the Trump invoked this morning the Military Production Act, where now we're going to be spending more billions of dollars replenishing half of our stockpile that we have used, and that will take about a few years to replenish. So that's what you're paying for. The $300 billion now is being discussed how exactly it's going to be made, but one of the main um, takeaways is that there'll be private investment. Not private investment. It'll be private donations and government donations from around the world, technically to rebuild Iran. This is other than the release of Iranian frozen assets. That means that Iran used to have money in our banks, and we have taken that money and decided to freeze it and not allow anyone to touch it. That is what we call frozen assets. Now, those are about $30 billion of Iranian money. The United States has agreed to give that money back to Iran. It was, I believe, 12 or $15 billion now. And then if Iran finishes everything correctly, they get another 12, $15 billion at the end. Now you have the $300 billion is going to be collected from around the world, from different countries and from different corporations. So that gives you about 320 to $330 billion of general funds that Iran will receive just from the United States and donations. Now you have bribes that the Qatari government have done and the UAE government have done. Both of them have given like $10 billion to Iran to prevent Iran from attacking them. Iran is making bank. Iran has some mullah, baby. They're at the club dancing their ass off. Khamenei, Mushtaba, even though has one leg, he's dancing on that one leg. Mm. He's like he's got one cane and he's grooving. He's got some swag. He's got some grill teeth. I'm just joking. From now on, he only walks on gold. He's gonna make it to the top 10 richest billionaires on the Forbes list. You know I'm joking. I hope you don't take me serious. It wasn't always, but it was always. Someone is asking. It wasn't always discord and war between Arabs and Jews and Muslims and Christians. Yeah, yes and no. You have the Crusades, and then you have the Islamic openings. They like to call it openings. I call it Islamic imperialism. And before you have and now you have the Israeli government, but they did have their issues. They did also have their stability, but you know, we're talking about mostly men with greed, with interests of expanding and becoming stronger. And that happened whether you were a Muslim or Christian or now Netanyahu. So the Israelis, the Jews, I've never seen or heard of the Jews actively trying to establish a nation or fight or have any type of their own crusades. But until now, if I'm being honest, I haven't heard about that unless I'm ignorant about it. But no, I was never. This is something new. In fact, there's so many Orthodox, extreme Orthodox Jewish people that I met that believe that Israel as a state shouldn't be a state. And that's not my opinion. That was just his opinion. And he said it's religiously bad that they would have a country like Israel. And he had his own reasoning. And he's a rabbi. He was a rabbi talking to me. So I wasn't the one pushing that opinion. I'm not pushing that opinion at the moment, but I've met rabbis who are against the fact that there is an Israeli state, and it is kind of becoming like a crusade at the moment. Whether you support, Israel or not, that's what it looks like. Yeah. And that wasn't my like I was shocked that I saw a rabbi, and he had that like round hat that was made out of some animal skin, and it was really interesting. And I don't know what they call the round hat, but it's very expensive. That hat, I looked up the price. It was a few $1,000s. I'm like, I want one now. They're so expensive. They're not cheap. I think some people are losing subscribers because the listeners can't tolerate the genocide debate. So that's all right. Genocide debate, you're going to win or lose people. But it's interesting when you ask someone their opinion and then don't like their opinion. You ask my opinion. I have an opinion. I can be non biased, but when you're asking for my bias, that's different. You're literally asking for a bias. Then when you're saying, what's your non biased opinion? I can give you a non biased opinion, but there's a difference. I can have both. Like, you're telling me to share my personal thoughts with you. And when I do, some of you get upset. Do you want non biased opinion, non emotional? Do you want emotional? You want realistic? I can give you realistic. I don't know. Maybe I'm being crazy. The information online is all over the place on 224 and 219 that it is still in the house. I think we are probably being misinformed about it. Interesting. The MO, I yeah, are you talking Teresa about is that the MOU? That's not we're not talking about the MOU in regards to that. I don't limit my notifications, believe it or not. I'm bringing no, I'm okay. I don't support Timo. Uh I like to get the thing from the source. Also, I don't think I feel comfortable buying it unless it was gifted. Yeah, and I try. Someone is like, also, they don't understand what the term Zionist mean. Many progressive Zionists do not agree with Netanyahu tactics. That's literally what I was saying the other day. I was saying that many Israelis are protesting the Israeli government and they're getting blacklisted. I literally know I know Israeli Americans and Israelis who have been banned from leaving the country because of Netanyahu and because they were protesting Netanyahu. That's why, like I said, like if anyone can do something about it, it is the Israelis. The Israelis are the only ones that can do something about it and is putting their own government in check. I think a lot of people got upset when I said that the responsibilities fall on the Israeli people. Someone came to me and said, "So you are saying that the Israeli people are protesting their government?" I'm saying, "No, I know the Israeli people are protesting their government. My friends are Israelis, and they're telling me that they're facing oppression. That means that they need the rest of the support of the nation. They need the rest of the support of the nation." And then they went on and they were saying that the Israel should continue their attacks in southern Lebanon. I think they believe that they can eliminate their problems with guns and bombs. And if their enemy was a country, maybe if their enemy was not backed by ideology, yes. But they're fighting an ideology. They're not fighting an organization. They're fighting a whole faith of people, the people that believe in something with their own hearts, with their own soul, with their own mind. So you can't fight that with guns and bullets. You just can't. Because as soon as you take care of the one after them come. You only make the newer generations believe in it harder. So what you need to do is step back and reimagine your relationship with Hezbollah and Hamas. Hamas is a terrorist organization. I'm not telling you to recategorize Hezbollah as a terrorist organization. I'm not telling you to recategorize. I'm telling you to change your tactics. It's very interesting. Anytime you go and you're sick and you go to the doctor and you have acne or you have some pain or you have whatever issue and you're like, "Oh, doctor, I have issue," and they give you a medication, they tell you try it. Let me know if it get worsen or if it doesn't work. If it gets worsen or if it doesn't work. If it gets worsened or if it doesn't work. You try it. Few days, a week or so, depending on the type of medication. You message your doctor, you call your doctor. "Oh, doctor, I don't think the medication is working." Or, "Oh, I see a very bad reaction." The doctor has to change the medication right away. Why don't we apply the same logic? Why isn't the same logic applied here? We have to take a minute, see if this medication works or not. It doesn't work, stop, take a minute, re strategize. You going harder and stronger is not going to change the equation. We go back to Orientalist ideology on Orientalism and or Edward Said and how Western people and here's the thing about Israel. Israel is no longer just the Middle Eastern Jewish community. Israel is the whole world Jewish community moved there. European, Middle Eastern, North African, South African, Asia, all of the Jewish community around the world decided to move there. That means they all come from different ideologies. They all have different perspective. They don't even agree on the same culture, on same principles and everything. So what you end up having, you easily clash with the culture that's there or the communities that have been there originally. It's normal, especially that you're taking over. So what do you need to do? You need to switch your strategy. I'm not saying kick all these people out because you have new generations that were born like Jewish people that have been born there for two, three, four generations now in Israel. Are you going to tell them to all kick out? I can't tell them all to kick out as well, but I have to find a middle solution. There need to be a middle solution. You want to call it a state that's not Israel, a state that's not Palestine, and bring up a new name? Sure, bring up a new name. But the idea that one or the other is not going to happen. It's not going to work. It's not going to be easy. What is going on? I have a meeting soon. Oh yeah, I do have a meeting soon in a half an hour. I have a half an hour. I'm glad that I have a calendar in front of. So people need to understand. Israelis need to understand that their actions are isolating them. The Israeli extremist actions are isolating Israelis because the world can see through the Palestinian eye what is happening to them. Not me. I'm not the one filming. I'm not the one sharing. I'm not the one analyzing. Palestinians are being watching what's happening, filming it right in front of you. I'm posting it and you're seeing it and your kids are seeing it and the kids are going, "Mom, Dad, why are we sending money to Israel?" And all of a sudden you don't know how to answer that question, and the kids have their own opinion and they make up their own mind. And all of a sudden, the new generation in the United States is against Israel, and Europe, and inside Europe and the United States are against Israel. That's not what I'm telling you. That's what the numbers are telling us. So Israel need to rethink its own strategies. This is not me trying to take down Israel. This is me telling Israel what is going on in an honest manner. I'm being honest. Like I have no stake in this. I don't make money out of supporting Palestinian cause. I don't make money out of supporting two-state solution. I don't have any profit in inside the company in Israel or Palestine. Like there's nothing in it for me. That means when I give you my honest feedback, is because I see something, I analyze it, I'm telling you about it. I literally don't have any stake in it. I don't have family living there. I don't have cousins living there. I know what the situation is. I have friends on both sides. So I'm just telling you what's up. The world is no longer interested in justifying Israeli actions because it's wasting their cards, it's wasting their spoons. People are running for office, and the Israeli issue is bringing their parties down. Period. That's it. If you're sending money to Israel and the economy is struggling, the people is going to look at you sideways. Why are you sending money to Israel and I'm struggling? I can't even buy eggs at the moment. I can't even buy eggs and milk, and I go to the to what used to what I used to buy with $50. Now I have to spend $100, double, and that's not going to come down anytime soon. You think that's going to come down anytime soon? It's not going to come down anytime soon. It's going to take a minute. all the shipping is going to take a minute because the shortages need to be filled back. And that's if there's no interruptions to the current shipping situation. So I say, take a minute, think about what I'm saying. If I am really against the Israeli people and the Jewish people, then please point out where I point where I said that. Because so far I don't believe that I said anything against the people and against the nation. I'm saying something that is actually out there. Your actions have been extremist. That's not my opinion. That's the International Criminal Court. Netanyahu has been criminalized. That's not my opinion. That's the International Criminal Court. Does that make me against Israel? No, that's the fact. That's the fact. That's not my opinion. I hope people understand the message that I'm trying to give, you know? Uh if you watched me from the beginning, you have watched that I am anything but division. I am a person that is looking to unite the not just the United States, but the world. I believe that we can find commonality and common human decency between us and everyone else, including the Israeli people. I hope that the Israeli people understand that being so mad doesn't solve their problem. I hope the Palestinians can find it in themselves to find forgiveness. I hope the victims of the the Palestinian attack on Israel in October find forgiveness in their heart as well. This is nothing new. Um, Humans have sat down and apologized for mistakes that they have made. Pope Francis himself have traveled the world and apologized to indigenous communities that the Catholic Church have um, abs- abused and tortured. Pope Francis went out and apologized. And when he passed away, it was one of the most emotional funerals I've ever watched, honestly. Specifically, when I watched all the minority indigenous communities from across the world, North America, South America, Africa, all across the world came to pay respect to someone that chose to admit the history and the mistakes of the church and chose to take a deep breath and find a better path for the church. I don't want, I genuinely don't like, and I tried to stay away from this debate for a very long time, the Israeli Palestine debate, because it's not my issue. Like, it's not my cause. It's not, it's genuinely like, it's not what I have been doing all my life. Like, but when I get asked about uh, the facts and I answer about them, I'm just answering the facts. But I'm not trying to join this debate. I'm not trying to say Palestine is right or Israel is right. I'm not trying to change the path. All I'm trying to say is I really hope that both sides find it in them to come together and sit down and find a solution. Because being so mad and upset and wanting revenge is only going to keep us in a circle. That's it. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. And and also one more thing. Neither side is going anywhere. And the sooner both of them understand that neither side is going anywhere, the sooner they could come to an understanding. Because so far, the Palestinians, the extreme Palestinians believe they can fight the Israelis off, and Muslims believe that they sometime in Islamic history in the future that they're supposed to take over Palestine and make Palestine an Islamic state. So as we need to stop that type of rhetoric from the Muslim side, we also need to slow that rhetoric from the Israeli side. Like that madness exists on both sides, and they all need to slow down. They all need to slow down because this religious war type of thing is not winning anyone. It's not winning a Palestinian cause and it's not winning an Israeli cause. You want to, this is the honest response about the whole thing. I think it's a total fucking mess because everyone is focused on revenge. I have 20 minutes. It's okay. Listen, I am cultivating a community. Someone's saying, wondering why, like I'm losing subscribers. It's okay. Things are changing. Winds are blowing different directions. People change their opinions. I'm not here to force people to follow me. I'm not here to. I'm here to cultivate a community that wants to bring difference and wants to bring change and uh, create a community and create a program where people can learn on a regular basis about how to solve conflict and how and the details and history of issue of the Middle East, giving people the tools and resources they need to make their own decisions so they can help the world become a better place. I'm not here to micromanage anyone. I'm not here to tell anyone what to do. I'm just giving and knowledge. That's all I'm trying to do. I'd like to give knowledge away. Did you see the article I sent you from Substack? Yesterday has been a very busy day for me. No, I have not seen the article. I apologize. I'm curious about your perspective during the election. Many Palestinian Americans voters in Michigan felt unable to support Kamala Harris because of uh, concerns about Gaza. Do you have any sense of how these voters are feeling now or how their views may have evolved since then? Um, they have, there has been a debate in Arabic about this. Like, see what you guys have done to yourself, or voting for the other side. You have encouraged the worst person to come on and not only support the war in Gaza, but support the war on Iran. The mistake that the Palestinian or Arab Muslims or the even liberal have because of Kamala Harris' support is there. But here's also the Democratic mistake. Our Democratic leaders are fucking pussies. Excuse my language. Because they're afraid to take a stand. Make up your mind. You either stand up against Israeli violations or you stand with the Israeli government. You can't do both. You can't. You either sacrifice APAC to win the vote of the rest of the country. You gotta win, you gotta take a side. Democrats not taking the Israeli side 100% and not taking the Palestinian side 100% caused them the election. I'm not telling them to take one side over the other. I'm saying they can't pick their mind. They're so scared of having an opinion. They're so scared of being opinionated and telling the world this is what is going to happen. We need someone to be ballsy to say, fuck everyone else. This is what's going to happen. Even though that this is not always the right way, but for leadership, sometimes you need that type of go, go. You can't be hesitant. When you have a hesitant leadership, no one believes in you. No one believes in you. Your hesitancy creates this feeling of, oh, I can't trust what your actions you're gonna take. Be opinionated. Give me your opinion. You are the leader of the country. Why? Where's your opinion? I want your honest humanity to come out to me. You're seeing everything that's happening. Oh, we stand with Israel. Well, also no, Habibi. You either stand with Israel or you're against the Israeli violations. You're a leader. You're not giving you're not giving some geopolitical analysis. People need to know what's up. People need to understand what's going to come next. If you're a Palestinian and you have family in Palestine, that's an immediate answer. I need to know, are you going to do your best to stop the war from Israel, or are you going to keep this going so my family is going to keep dying? That's different. There's urgency. Also, the Israelis need to know, are you going to stand with the Gaza and Hamas, or are you going to be with us? So Jewish people who are with Israel, they're going to be like, come on, man, where's your answer? So you lost both sides. You lost both sides. We need someone who's opinionated. On June 5th, every day ago, 11 days ago, the House Armed Service Committee voted 44 to 12 to advance the 2027 National Defense Authorization Act to the full House floor. The July recess is weeks away. Congress is expected to vote before then. Is this not accurate? So, if from my understanding, it passed the committee and it's waiting for the vote of the House from your writing. I thought it passed the House. Let me look that up real quick. I have about 12 minutes. What happened to advice and consent as part of the Constitution? I think I was answering. Is this regarding to what I just said about Democrats need a president to be opinionated? I'm not saying I need to agree with his opinion. All I'm saying is that when it comes to voters, when a president doesn't have a one side opinion that people can rely on, both sides feel like the president is betraying them. So when you come out and you give half handed answers to everyone else, people are not going to be happy. So the committee vote accurate. The House Arms Service Committee voted 44 to 12. The particularly accurate, the 14-hour markup debate concluded at midnight between Thursday, June 4th and Friday, June 5th on 2026. However, since today, June 17, 2026, uh, the bill was favorable reported out of committee. The full House of Representatives is scheduled to consider the 1.15 trillion the defense policy bill later this month prior to July. So yes, they haven't voted on it yes on the House. So it passes the committee, it goes to the House. The House is on recess. The bill is $1.15 trillion, and it is coming up in the House. So call your House representative before your senator. Then you need to go to your House representative and call them immediately. Thank you for that update. I appreciate it. Wajeeh speaks reliable nonfiction a whole lot more than he makes mistakes, misspeaks, thinks. Thank you. Appreciate it. We'll see. Keep an eye on it. You guys have like 8 more minutes I'm going to give you before I end this live stream. I do have an actual meeting right after this, but thankfully it's virtual, so I don't need to run anywhere. But I'm going to give you 8 more minutes to write and answer questions. So if you have anything, feel free to throw it at me now. In the meantime, please consider becoming a subscriber. Help support my channel. And if you can afford it, please consider becoming a paid subscriber. It's only $5 a month or $35 a year. And it basically funds this operation to help educate and share news and latest analysis regarding the geopolitical situations in the Middle East. And without your support, it wouldn't be possible. So thank you for all who supported, and thank you for anyone that is considering to support this channel. If you cannot afford becoming a paid subscriber, I have been sharing a link where you can get 6 month free premium subscription It saves me a lot of headache than asking on the Substack channel for everyone's email and then taking it and putting it on my system to add you to it is just way more work. So I found a way where I created the link. You click on that link and you sign up for 6 month free trial. And that's for everyone that cannot afford to become a paid subscriber. If it doesn't work, email me or message me on Substack, I guess. And we'll take it from there so you don't have to be worried about figuring that out. The leaders in human cultures have always been the head of families, the holy person, the judge, the legislator, and the executive have always been the followers, inside chef, mayors, and the outside chefs, war chiefs, are examples of followers who show the way leaders want to follow. That's not a bad quote, actually. Any other questions? We have 5 more minutes. Okay, I'll let it go then. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're watching a recording. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and join the conversation. And then join us on Substack. We have amazing community. Like I said, I spoke with Justice Gatson since there's a lot of people here. My mentor and my role model who taught me how to grassroots organize. We talked about setting up a grassroots training, a paid membership grassroots training that will do from her own channel after I help her set up her own Substack channel. Will create a grassroots organizer basic training to start with. You can sign up with that. I just don't feel comfortable asking her to do a grassroots trainer without, some compensation. So we're going to do that. A lot of you have expressed interest in learning how to do that. And I figured I would bring my own mentor that taught me how to become a grassroots organizer to do it for you guys. Me and her have trained the ACLU before, and she used to be a ACLU grassroots organizer. Her name is Justice Gatson, and her nonprofit is called Real Justice Network. I encourage you to go follow her and support her social media account. She's supposed to send me her schedule today or tomorrow. She's just also dealing with a very sick husband that is going through a lot of medical issues, and if you have a minute to have him in your prayers, I hope that you take a minute to have him in your prayers. He would take anything that would help at this point. So yes, um, I'm very proud and honored to help her set it up and figure this out. And I hope you guys all sign up for it because it's just a great opportunity for you to get trained by someone who not only have done it, but also trained it and is certified to train it. Anyways, thank you. We'll see you again. As always, مع السلامة, bye bye, وبالإنجليزي goodbye. I'll see you tomorrow.